When I was, let's see, this is 2016, so I was 24. Daniel, my next brother, and I went on a road trip together to Utah. And we were in the car for 40, 50 hours together. We were 2 weeks going to these different national parks. And in the beginning, it was a lot of fun and a lot of just like, catching up, stuff like that. But as the trip went along, some of those, he had been in college for 4 years and I'd been out of the house for 6. So we hadn't dealt with some of those like little kid problems that we had. They started to butt up. And I remember there was one night, I'm not proud of this, but it's true, where he said something, it just ticked me off. And I like stormed out of the hotel room, got in the car and just drove and shut my phone off so that he couldn't call me. And I was just gone for like 3 hours. And I came back and he was already asleep and I went to bed. We both woke up the next morning and we didn't talk to each other for 2 or 3 hours. We just pretended that neither of us were in the room. And we had decided, thankfully, beforehand what park we were going to that day. So we just got in the car without talking, started driving to the park without talking. And finally, 20, 30 minutes into the car ride, he's just like, "Are you going to talk to me or what?" And the second he broke the silence, I blew up and I'm like, boom, boom, boom. You this, you this, you this, you that. And we had a discussion that started very, very, very heated, which lots of testosterone in the car. That's what you're going to get. But we both knew underneath that there was a problem that needed to be solved. That was the underlying expectation. And so that's why there was no point during this completely immature silent treatment where I thought this is how it's going to stay. It was like, no, one of us is going to finally be mature enough to say we need to talk about this, even if it takes the form of, well, are you going to talk to me or not? And one that ended up happening, we got to a key area where the fact that he had gone to college and I hadn't, and the way that we were treating that dynamic was causing both of us a tremendous amount of pain. I was constantly telling him, you don't need to go to college, you don't need to go to college, you don't need to go to college, because I was trying to validate my life choices. Right. But it made him feel like I was saying that he was screwing up his life. And he was fighting back saying, you do need to go to college, you do need to go to college, college is important, which I felt like him was him telling me, you're screwing up your life and I don't want to be like you. And those are some really, really tough questions. But to your point, we had the mentality that we're going to work through this, that it's not an option to just say, you know what, we're going to pretend none of this is an issue. And then at the end of this road trip, we're going to go back to our lives and just never confront it again. No, we dealt with the issue and our relationship blossomed in a completely new and beautiful way because of that interaction.
Yeah, and I think that that comes back to the point that you made before, and I've said this to your siblings at various points, that God chose your sibling for you. Of all the different personalities and quirks or whatever they are, like God said, I want this person in your life, and I want that person in your life for your holiness, for your happiness, for the challenges that they're going to pose for you. Like God had this in mind. And when you say no, like I wish I didn't have to deal with it. Like, no, that's not what God wishes. and because that's his plan, then there's something good here. And we have to keep digging through the manure until it comes out, because manure is wonderful for new growth. And there's plenty of opportunity for new growth when you've got a whole bunch of siblings and you know, okay, we need to work something out here.